Sometimes in Commander, cards can interact in such a powerful and synergistic way they can help you achieve infinite power! Today I want to talk about 3 infinite damage combos only requiring the color green that can lead you to an instant win in EDH, and the video starts right now. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. I am Joel. Today we're going to talk about infinite damage combos in the color green that can achieve a win just like that. But before we do, if you would, go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like the video by the end of it. Let's jump into some combos. So, something interesting to talk about before we start the green infinite damage video. I've got a video of infinite damage combos for Commander for each individual color. When I was putting together the green video, there are not a lot of infinite damage combos that only use the color green. Most of them rely on one of the, classic artifacts that lead to infinite damage like Aetherflux Reservoir or Walking Ballista, and a lot of them just boil down to 3 different ways of doing the same thing. So in this video we're actually going to go over 3 different combos, 2 that deal infinite damage to all players, and then 1 that deals infinite damage to flying creatures, but I thought it was interesting and I wanted to include it. This first combo involves Food Chain and Eternal Scourge. I'm sure you know this combo, but if you don't, let's walk through it real fast. Food Chain's a 3-cost artifact. Remove a creature you control from the game, add X mana of any color to your mana pool, where X is the removed creature's converted mana cost +1. This mana may be only spent to play creature spells. So when you've combined that with Eternal Scourge, which is a 3-cost Eldrazi horror that you can cast from exile, when you exile this creature to Food Chain, you're going to get 4 mana, you're going to be able to recast it for 3, have 1 left over, you exile it again for 4 mana, you recast it for 3, you've got another left over, now you're up to 2, so you can infinitely, as long as there's no interaction, sack Eternal Scourge to Food Chain, exiling it, adding 4, return it to the battlefield, casting it from exile for 3 of the 4 mana it made. Do that infinitely and you're going to create an infinite amount of mana. So then once you've got your infinite mana, you cast an arbitrarily large Walking Ballista, however large you need it to be, to absolutely wipe out all of your opponent's life totals. And then once you've got it on the battlefield with those +1/+1 counters, an infinite amount of them, if it resolves, you're good to go, because as soon as anybody tries to interact with it at all, or if somebody tries to interact with it in response to you removing a +1/+1 counter, you just respond by removing the other infinite +1/+1 counters to deal 1 damage to any target, and you win the game like that. So for those of you that have seen the other videos in this 5-part series, this one's going to look familiar. There's an artifact like this for most colors. Malachite Talisman is it for green. You can pay 3 to untap target permanent. You only use this ability when a green spell is successfully cast, and only once for each green spell cast. So if you can have some sort of spell that is going to return itself to your hand very easily, and for the mana that you would residually get from using Chromatic Orrery, you're going to be in a good place, because you can just have this infinite storm count that'll lead to an Aetherflux Reservoir trigger, and you'll win. So to set this one up, you need Whip Silk in your hand for green, you need Chromatic Orrery, Malachite Talisman, and Aetherflux Reservoir on the battlefield, and you also need a creature on the battlefield that Whip Silk can enchant, because it is an enchant creature. So we're going to use Eternal Scourge from the last combo just to represent any creature. This could be a 1/1, this could be a 0/1 plant token. We just need a creature to enchant with Whip Silk. So it's going to go like this. You tap Chromatic Orrery for 5 mana and you cast Whip Silk, enchanting our creature. That means we're going to gain life from Aetherflux Reservoir. We pay for the other 3 that we have. We still have 1 floating after this, to use Malachite Talisman to untap target permanent, untapping the Chromatic Orrery. We then can return Whip Silk to our hand for 1 more green mana. That uses all of the mana that we had, but as you can see, now we are back to where we started and we can do this loop over and over again. Tap Chromatic Orrery, cast Whip Silk for the 1, triggers Aether Flux. Now we're actually gaining 2 life, and it's going to build like that every time. The next time we run this, we gain 3 life. The next time, 4 life. We're going to gain an infinite amount of life, but it is important to note, with 3 of the 4 that we've got left, activate Malachite Talisman, pay 3 to untap Chromatic Orrery. We've got 1 floating left. Put Whip Silk back in our hand, and you go from there. Cast the Whip Silk after we've tapped Chromatic Orrery. Aether Flux Reservoir gains us more life. Use 3. Untap Chromatic Orrery. Use 1. Return Whip Silk to our hand. And on and on and on until we've got an infinite amount of life. And then we can pay 50 life for each opponent to deal 50 damage to that player. So as I said, the options for infinite damage combos, specifically using only green cards that could be in a mono green commander deck, artifacts as well, obviously. The options are limited, and it's all variations on very similar themes. Kill him with Aether Flux Reservoir, kill him with Walking Ballista. This one is interesting, though, because this deals infinite damage to flying creatures only, but we do get infinite ETB triggers and infinite death triggers, so you can rack up your storm count, or if you've got anything triggering on deaths, you can get those infinite death triggers. You know, if you do put this combo in some kind of black-green deck, something like that, run Blood Artist, you're good to go. But let's walk through the combo in just its mono green version. What we need to start this one is Ariof's, Eldrazi Monument, and Melira Silvok Outcast on the battlefield. First, we're going to sacrifice the Oaths. Using its ability, sacrifice Ariof's. Ariof's deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying. We sacrifice the Oaths, targeting itself or another valid target. It triggers the Persist, and it re-enters without the -1/-1 counter because of Melira. Creatures you control can't have -1/-1 counters placed on them. And that's the entire loop. From there, you're just killing all of the flying creatures. Sacrifice Ariof's. It comes back with Persist. -1/-1 counter can't be placed on it. It's wiping out any of the flying on the board, also giving you infinite ETBs, also giving you infinite death triggers. So if you can take advantage of that, that's how you can win with this combo. I just really wanted to include this one. I know this one's a little off from the rest of the series, but I really like the interaction between Ariof's and Melira. I really like the interaction anytime Persist and Melira are involved. You can really get nutty, and this is one way to do it. That's infinite damage combos for the color green. Let's close the book. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Let me know down in the comments if there's any green infinite combos you think I should have included, and you might see them in an upcoming video. Like I said, check out the rest of the series. We've got an individual infinite damage combo video for each color that could be in a commander deck, so you might want to go check those out and see if there's any combos that you want to put in your EDH deck. Other than that, I'm tapped out, and I'll catch you later.